There are places where one wrong step can be the last step of your life. In some places, you have to climb a steep mountain to get home. In other places, an entire village is stranded in the middle of the ocean. Some survive in bone-chilling cold, some in toxic smoke. And some are completely cut off from the rest of the world. Danger is not uncommon here. It's just the way life is here. But people survive and adapt to places where survival is impossible. These are the most dangerous settlements in the world. Let's get started. There is no foundation on the ground. There is no flat land. A magical city floats on the murky waters of Lake Naki in West Africa. It seems like an entire village is resting on thousands of bamboo and wooden poles, sunk a few yards below the muddy lake. There are no roads here. Before children can walk, they learn to sail dinghies. And the Tofans and women handle the entire market sitting in brightly colored boats. But this floating life is not at all peaceful. When the salt water of the sea enters the lake, the fish begin to cry. And during a big storm. At night, these poles, which have become weak after being soaked in water for a long time, tremble and shake. Then the entire city seems to be about to sink under the water. Xenesis Cliff Store, a small wooden box hangs in the middle of the sky on a steep red mountain, high above the ground. This is not a magic story. Hunan, China. Xenesis Cliff Store in the province where the price of a single mistake is certain, a group of extremely brave people hang from safety wires every day. This event is to provide relief to tired mountaineers, not for profit. That's why a bottle of water costs only 30 cents here. Transactions are made. 228. Literally floating in the air. Darya Taklamakan Desert, whose name makes your heart burst with thirst, is a miraculous life that is pulsating right in the middle of that terrible fiery furnace. Surrounded by thousand-year-old golden poplar trees, Darya Boy is like a hidden gem in the ocean. All around are the extreme roughness of nature, sandstorms and incredible fluctuations in day and night temperatures. Yet the people here did not give up. This ancient village has survived for centuries, relying on a secret underground water source that seeps from the end point of the river that has merged into the sand. Starting the day by baking bread on hot sand and drinking salty milk is a lost life. Boshan Stone City. Imagine a city that is not made of bricks and sand. Today, it is made of a huge cloud of stones. This is Boshan Stone City. An impenetrable village of the ancient Nazi community. Here, the walls of the houses, pillars, beds, the stove and even the bathtub are all made of this stone. Surrounded by steep cliffs on three sides, goods still enter this township only on the backs of people and mules. The people here have not gone against nature. Instead, they have adopted the hard stone with incredible skill. Frying Pan Tower in the Atlantic. Where the sea is roughest, the Frying Pan Tower stands like a sentry. The most dangerous waters of North Carolina, America. Hidden like death traps below are shallow sandbars and complex ocean currents that have dragged hundreds of entire ships into darkness forever over the ages. For more than half a century, its steel structure has been battered and rickety due to the brutal impact of salt water. The deck is leaking. The railings have come apart. One wrong step in the dark of night will lead you straight to the depths of the turbulent currents of the Atlantic. There are no stairs to get here from the boat. You have to float in the air on a swing hanging in the middle of strong winds. The 5G signal may have reached the top of the mountain in the village of Atalia, but the road to get there is still a death trap. The only way back home in the village of Atalia is 2,500 steps hanging from the steep mountainside. And before these stairs were installed, it took the villagers more than 3 hours to climb down the broken wooden ladders. Walking up these steps, which go straight up to the sky at an angle of 70 to 90 degrees, is no ordinary human task. Looking down is endless emptiness. Where slipping means getting lost in the abyss. Abuna Yamada Cave. Do you have the courage to pray with your eyes fixed on death? Welcome to Abuna Yamada Cave. The most dangerous church in the world. 8,200 feet above sea level, a rocky pillar. It is like a secret of a cloud kingdom. There are no stairs or ropes to reach here. You only have to climb the steep rocks with bare hands and feet in the Masrin Gorge into that emptiness. Inside are priceless manuscripts written on goatskin that are still Itakar Tarmat at the very edge of the world map, where civilization seems to have stopped. Greenland's Itakar Tarmat hides its face in the ice sheet. When the sea around it freezes for about 9 months of the year, it becomes one of the world's. A white isolated island. The supply route from the outside world is completely closed here. Surrounded by a mysterious contrast of white snow and steep black rock mountains, this settlement of less than 350 people seems to be more dominated by sled dogs than humans. An even bigger fear is when hungry people from the climate change curse attack this village. So there is an unwritten rule here. No one locks the door of the house. So that anyone in danger can run to save their lives. San Mengxia. From above, it looks like a vast field of crops. Peaceful and silent. But if you peek through the soil, you will be surprised. About 20 to 23 feet deep in the plain, there is an entire underground city hidden under the loose soil. There are more than 100,000 such terraced houses excavated in Sanmenxia, Hunan province. A fruit tree in the middle of each one. A silent signal so that no one falls into the hole in the middle of the night. The tradition of this 4,000-year-old cave dwelling is like a living organism hidden in the soil. What a monastery, standing tall like a white pyramid, piercing the emptiness. In the rugged and icy desert of the Himalayas, at an altitude of 13,400 feet, what a monastery is like a fortress of unwavering faith in a stone built by people to escape from historical travelers. This monastery, built like a fortress, is like a floating isolated island in the land of clouds. As soon as you step into its narrow dark sphere, you will get lost in the crowd of thousand-year-old mural paintings and handwritten manuscripts. A strange silence here seems to stop time. Blagostek, a steep mountain 656 feet high in the heart of Bosnia, and right at its foot, next to one of the most powerful springs in Europe, stands the 16th-century Sufi monastery of Blagostek. A stream of water rushing at a speed of 43,000 liters per second. It sits atop a vast, mysterious turquoise pool. Floods and landslides have battered this wooden monastery for centuries. But it still stands, protected by some divine protection. An endless stream of thousands of red wooden cabins rising from a narrow valley at 13,100 feet above sea level in Larunga. It is the largest and most remote Buddhist monastery in the world of Larunga. Once home to 400 monks and nuns, this city above the clouds was once bustling with activity. However, later, authorities have reduced the number of houses and banned outsiders from entering. Against the backdrop of snow-capped peaks and blue skies, this vast red settlement seems to be from another planet. Longyearbyen, where polar bears rule more than humans. There are only 2,400 humans compared to 3,000 bears. And when you step outside the city, you have to pick up a rifle. Its name is Longyearbyen. In this city of Selbard, just as the sun does not set for 4 months in a row, it is completely dark for 4 months in a row. But this mysterious city is facing a new threat today. The ground that has been frozen for thousands of years is starting to melt due to global warming. The entire town could collapse at any moment.